All right, today I want to show everybody how to use LanSchool. LanSchool is a great application. It's installed on everyone's computer, and it allows you to remotely monitor other computers in the building. Obviously, we're talking about students. So LanSchool, again, it's installed on everybody's computer. If you go down here and search for it and type in LAN, you'll see LanSchool Teacher. The students, the learners are running LanSchool Student. So you're running the teacher console. It's very different. So click on that and you'll see that nothing happens. Well, it actually is running down here. So you'll have to go down here to the clock. You'll see LanSchool is running. I'm on channel 301, which happens to be my classroom number. So we're going to do that for test purposes. But your channel number should be your classroom. So you're going to right click and go up to Teacher LanSchool Console, Now you're there and you'll see the first thing you'll notice that it is empty. There are no learners in here. So you're going to have to actually create a class with all of your learners. This is the hardest part of the process. You'll obviously only need to do it once and just manage your class list from here if learners move in and out. So the very first thing you want to do is up here, you'll see a little arrow up here. You click there and class list is an option. And the first thing you want to do is manage your class list. Once you've set this up, you'll then load class list from there. But for right now, we're just going to manage class list. So now, how are we going to add learners? The easiest way to do it is if you know their logon name. So 85656. So that's a learner. You will add them manually. You'll keep going through. And you'll keep adding the learners until your list is populated. I think this is the easiest way to do it. I simply walk around to my learners, ask them what their username is. I add them to the list while they're in my classroom. It should take you about 5 minutes to add everybody. Some people like to actually have this done in advance or don't like to walk around and add people. So you can also browse for students. So if you click on the Browse for Student button, all of the learners who are actually online right now will show up in the list. So if I wanted to add Lanisha Harris and I wanted to add Dante, so you click all the names. Obviously, it's tied to their username. You go through and you add the people. I've added those students. Now that's my class. Let's assume I'm running a class with 6 students. That's it. So the next step you want to do is you actually want to save this list so you have some place so you don't have to remake this list every day when you go to the lab or when you're trying to control your class. So let's save this, and we're going to save it. You can save it anywhere you want, but for today I'm going to save it in a new folder on my desktop and call it LanSchool. And I already have one called LanSchool, so I'll save it right in that LanSchool folder. And we're going to call this the test group. So it's an LSC file, test group, and there we have it saved. So again, now you see there is no class in here. That's because you need to load that class. If you go back here, go to class list, and you'll see load class. I'm going to figure out what class I want to load, and I want to load the test group. So when you click on that, up will pop your learners into the LanSchool console. It does take a minute to load them in. When you have a class of 30 or so, it will obviously take a little bit longer. It should take a couple minutes. Now that you're in here, there are many views. I have all of my learners. It shows them their name. It shows them their login name, what machine they're working on. And it also shows you what they're currently doing. So this is a simple view. This is a list view. It shows you the website that they're on, all of this fun information. So you could do a lot of things from here. You can change the view. That's the first thing a lot of people like to do. If you go to the large view, you can actually see all of their computers in a thumbnail setting. So you can actually scroll through and see exactly what they're doing. So you can see their desktop or what they're working on. So you have all of their computers. I will tell you that when you view it large like this, it does tend to be slow. You can also click on one, and I can actually, Lily is working on polynomials. If I double click, I can actually see exactly what's going on her computer without her even knowing it. And I am in the ILC and she is up in a classroom, so I can see what's going on. So we have control. That's just viewing. If I click on it, I can actually even remote control. If I wanted to go in there and actually take control of her computer and show her something, I can do that. I'm not going to do it now, but I can actually take control of that computer too. So again, we have, that's from this. You're probably not going to mess around with the run and the testing, although you might. Messaging is something I do use. You could actually send messages to the students via LanSchool. You can also certainly do that via link. Probably one of the most common ones is the blank screen. If I click on this blank screen button, so I look over here and Dante is not doing the right thing, or maybe I just want to control the class, I click on blank screen, it will actually blank their screen. You can even control the message that shows up. I happen to say eyes to the front of the classroom, please. You can put a lot of things on there, whatever you want. But again, blank screen will actually blank their screen. That will make them look at you. It'll turn their screen completely blank. You could do that to the whole class too. If you select the top one and you select the bottom and hold down shift, or if you select one and then select the control key, that will actually select individual ones. So we have blanking the screen, which is common. So next thing you want to know about is limiting the web. Let's say I wanted to take all of these learners and I wanted to limit their web access. If you click on the little arrow, it will give you the option. I can block all web browsing. Let's say I wanted to have them work on a program but not on the web. I can block all web browsing. I could, or if they're writing a paper, they don't need to be on the internet, they can block all web browsing. You can also just say what sites you allow them on, or you can just block certain sites. If I wanted to block YouTube, Twitter, and other websites, you can block it that way as well. So you click on it, you hit block web, limit web, and it actually limits their ability to access the web. Last two things I'm going to show you are actually really good academic and educational purposes for it. The first one is show. If I click on show, it will actually blow out my screen to their screens. So whatever is on my screen will show up on their desktop. So for example, if I was demonstrating a PowerPoint presentation and I wanted to show everybody, but I didn't want to put it on the LCD projector, I can actually just click show and my desktop will go to them. It can be a little slow because it's taking the image from one computer and putting it out to 30, so it can be a little slow, but it is effective and it's something I use on a regular basis. The other one is show student, and what I like about this one is, so it seems Lily is doing her work and doing her work well, and let's say I take a look at hers, and she's doing a great job. And I want everybody in the class to see what a great job she's doing, or maybe she's doing the project right. So I will hit Show Student. If I click on Show Student, that will then take Lily's screen and show it to the rest of the class. Again, a nice educational, academic purpose for LanSchool. It is not just behavior management. So there is LanSchool. There's a quick overview of LanSchool, how it works. Please be sure every period to take your class and dismiss them. Otherwise, they will be locked in your class for the rest of the day. So you want to dismiss them. It's a really good tool for managing your classes and for academic purposes, and I hope everybody gets to use it. If you have a question, need some help setting it up, come see me down in the ILC, and I will be glad to help you.